OK， 嗨大家，所以我们现在就是在私人猎友园区里面，然后今天很幸运，就是这是 Jayden， 然后他是我们这2天的 Ranger， 看了超多动物，然后看了2次狮子，就真的很厉害。所以我们今天就想说，坐下来跟他聊聊关于当 Ranger 是什么体验，然后跟他在这里工作啊，他可能看到的一些跟动物第一线接触的这些资讯。所以欢迎他。Okay, so can you do like a self-introduction?
Hello, I'm Jayden Schultz. I am a safari guide and wildlife photographer. Been absolutely obsessed with the African bush since I was about 4 years old. I'm very fortunate to work in this environment.
Okay, and so we have a few questions here today.
Yeah.
So the first one is, lions are actually seen as the king of the jungle.
Yeah.
But like on your actual day-to-day drives, what do you see that's very different from the common perception?
Well, I think one thing that immediately stands out is that a lot of people have a perception that lions are very lazy, which is not really true.
Mm-hmm.
If you think about what lions are doing at night, I mean, walking anywhere between 12 to 18 kilometers in the night, territorial patrols, fighting other prides, hunting, all of that.
Yeah.
I think the misconception that they're lazy is not true. I think it's more really good at using their energy and their resources. So conserving their energy, and I think we're only getting a glimpse into their lives by what we see during the day. But they're actually pretty active cats.
And even at night.
Oh, definitely. Night is when they switch on. That is when they're most active.
That's also like very different from what, like cartoons portray lions.
The lazy sleeping cats.
Exactly. Then the second question is, animals like spotted hyenas or vultures, they're almost portrayed like the bad guy in any type of animation. Why are these animals actually very important for the African ecosystem?
So, if you're thinking about the spotted hyena or vulture immediately, first thing that pops into your mind is scavenger. And I think we have, as humans, have placed our own emotions into it, and we think of that as quite a disgusting thing.
Yeah.
But they are important for the environment. I mean, they are controlling diseases, the spread of diseases, by making sure that carcasses are fed on and, there's no rotting flesh out there. And they do make a really good cleanup crew, and I think they are crucial for the environment in that regard. Even with your spotted hyena, for example, it's not actually an animal that is just a scavenger.
Oh, okay.
So oftentimes it's portrayed that your spotted hyenas are scavengers, which they do, but lions also scavenge. Hyenas are actually very successful hunters and really interesting social groups. They're really cool animals, and they perform the same ecological role as your lion.
Oh. Yeah. I think that's also very interesting how we give these animals our own definition.
Yeah,
like good or bad.
Precisely.
And then the last question is, oftentimes when people see any type of videos when it comes to big cat breeding centers, a lot of times like they are there for profit, but there are also places that can be very vital to saving the species. So can you explain why a captive bred lion or cheetah cannot just be released into the wild? And what is a true big cat conservation really like?
To answer that question, with your lions and your cheetah, there's a difference in terms of rewild. We actually don't have enough space in Africa for lions. Yeah.
Okay.
So because of the increase in human populations, wilderness areas are shrinking. So breeding them is not, I wouldn't necessarily say it's something that we should be doing moving forward, especially if you're going to do it in captivity, because essentially you're breeding those cats to live a life in captivity.
Yeah.
But when you're talking about something like the cheetah, where it's got the genetic bottleneck, there's not enough genetic diversity among your cheetah, highly endangered animal, and the rewilding process has been something that has been proven, tested, and is now actually implemented in a lot of conservation sites throughout South Africa. You can see that the cheetah rewilding and breeding is actually essential for the conservation of that. So I think in terms of what big cat conservation looks like, it would be land, number one, because you need both land for lions and cheetah. That's step one. And then the big question you should ask yourself whenever you go into any facility that is advertising themselves as a big cat sanctuary or conservation project is, what is the goal?
Yeah.
What is the end goal? Okay, they're breeding lions, but what are they doing with the cubs?
Uh-huh.
Are those lions going back to the wild? The honest truth is most likely not. With your cheetah, that's a completely different story.
So cheetahs can actually get close to humans, but they can still be released to the wild.
The problem is we don't have as much cheetahs as what we do lions. They're at the bottom of the food chain. So they actually need our help in terms of reintroducing them into areas. You can think of a place like the Kruger National Park, about 2 million hectares. If I'm not mistaken, and I could be very wrong, I think we only have about 300 cheetah there.
Okay.
As opposed to about 2,000 to 3,000 lions. There's already that massive gap. And there's a lot of rewilding happening within Africa where wilderness areas are being acquired and animals are being reintroduced, and it's an opportunity to bring cheetahs into those areas where they once did occur. And there is the opportunity to do the rewilding of taking captive cats and bringing them to
Thank you so much for sharing, and thank you for being here with us today. We will see you next time. Bye.